Welcome back to Sip the Tally Films. I'm your host, Coach Evans, and today we're going to take a look at the San Francisco 49ers run game. Now, we know Christian McCaffrey is leading the league with 1,292 yards, averaging 5.7 per carry with 13 touchdowns. And we know San Francisco has one of the best run games in the NFL. Even when CMC's not in, they have Debo carrying the ball. They used to have, I can't think of the other guy's name, but they got 24 carrying it now. And even when the main guys not in, they still have success running the ball. But what we're gonna do today is kind of take a look at their main concepts, how effective they are, and then at the end, try to say how the Ravens can kind of slow it down. And we'll take a look at 5 plays and some different concepts and what they run the most and whatnot. But let me just give you the numbers first versus what they do. Now, what I did was I took the last game they played versus the Arizona Cardinals, charted all the runs to try to get a picture of what their main concepts are and what they do and what they don't do. And as you can see from the chart, I charted 25 runs, most of which were by CMC, one by Debo, and the last five were by another backup by the number 24. I'm not sure of his name. But you see the overwhelming concept they love, outside zone. Whether it be traditional outside zone where the back is in the hip and he's running across the quarterback's face, whether it be from under the center where they run like a stretch type but it's still outside zone, or whether they just have the tailback, well, Christian McCaffrey on the hip of the quarterback, which would be Brock Purdy, and they just toss it to him. All these different versions of outside zone is still the same blocking for the O-line, tight ends, and whatnot. The next most runs they have is inside zone. So without a shadow of a doubt, the 49ers are a zone blocking team, and they're very well at it. One gap scheme that I did see, I saw counter a couple times, and they use either the guard and the H-back. I didn't see both O linemen pull like a GT counter. I don't think I saw it. I think most of the time I saw it, it was the guard and maybe Juszczyk or Juszczyk and Kittle, or Kittle and the guard. I don't remember it being just straight GT counter. But again, most of what they run is zone, and it's tough to stop that, especially if you get aggressive defenses that overrun the play, and then the cutback is immaculate because Christian McCaffrey has a jump cut that's out of this world. Let's look at the play direction. This is the play direction for those runs. Well, this is for the season though. This is not for just that game. This is for the season. For the season, most of their runs end up the middle. Even though they run outside zone and inside zone a lot, most of those runs hit toward the A gap. Most of them hit toward the A gap. They've had the most success, and the orange is the most success, like the average game. They've had the most success off left end and off right end. But most of their runs go up the middle. So what that tells me is they're trying to set you up one way, and the jump cut ends up being the deciding factor. So they're trying to run B gap to B gap, but then when you crash those B gaps, McCaffrey hits you with that jump cut, and he's out the gate, and we know what kind of athlete he is. But let's kind of get into some film of what they do, and kind of try to break it down and show you how well they run it, and throw a few ideas in there how it can be slowed down, because I don't think it can be stopped. All right, all these views will be from the end zone view. Let's take a look at this first one. This is inside zone. And on inside zone, I kind of look at the steps of the O-line and the path of the back. So his path is going to be kind of in this area, kind of pushing that B gap. And so that's why I'm figuring this is inside zone, because if it was outside zone, the steps for the O-line would be wider. They'd be trying to get to the outside. But they just trying to hit that gap right there, see what the linebacker does and what the O-line do with the double teams, and then go from there. And they been trying to hit it down here. The Cardinals do a good job of just crashing inside. They do a great job of crashing inside and taking it away, really. But the superior athleticism of Christian McCaffrey, look at that jump cut. Now he's out in space. Again, like the chart said, the play direction was B gap to B gap, but because of McCaffrey's athleticism and them balling it up and him doing what he do, it's an outside run now. Now he's in space. Look at Ayuk. Look at Ayuk getting there and trying to get some. Anytime you have a great running team, the receivers have to block. I talk about that when I watch film on Detroit. When Detroit have great running games, their receivers in there blocking. Look at Ayuk coming there to get some. And you got Kittle out there trying to get some. And that's just the finish. That finish alone is another 5 yards. Starts below the 45, maybe like the 43, and ends up at like the 48. That's another 5 yards right there. And all running backs do that drill in practice. I know they do it in high school and college level. That where they put their hand down just to fight for that extra yard. That extra yards right there gave them another 5 yards. Right, this is one of their versions of outside zone. They're going to run a toss. And they do a great job with this because McCaffrey's so good. Now look at the leverage they've created. They got 4 guys on this side. Not counting the center. They got 4 guys on this side in the box. The Cardinals don't have 4 guys. The Cardinals only got 3. So right now, San Francisco has a decided advantage, especially once you add the ball carrier in there in that number. They never really adjust. And that's how the blocking should play out. They may even have an extra guy because Arizona never adjusted. Look at that. Look at that. Look, perfect. Look at the gap created. You got turnbacks by 65 and Trent. You got Debo getting in there, finna get some. You got one hat on the hat, finna be a hat on the hat out there. Look at the gap Christian has to run through. I mean, that's an old lineman's coach dream to see stuff like this. And then not only the way it's drawn up, watch the vision by McCaffrey. Okay, I can't go in that gap because 21's there. I'm gonna just go through here and run him into traffic. And now he done blocked himself. He used Kittle's block to block a second person. Look at the vision. And because of that cut and that decision, that's another 15, 20 yards down the field. Let's go to this third. Tight end wham. What they're going to try to do, and I should have mentioned this earlier, the 49ers do a good job of splitting the front. And I'm going to show you what that is in a second, right? Look at the blocking scheme. You know, you got linemen going the opposite directions. They're trying to account for the front 5. That's all they're trying to account for. Kittle's going to fall in and account for the extra. And at the last minute, you're going to see how you come in, which is probably going to be a block in the back, but you're going to see how you bust in there and hit Buda Baker to spring this run. But Kittle's supposed to fall in there and hit the first different color you see. And at this point, that first different color, because look, you got hat on the hat here, hat on the hat here, hat on the hat here, kicking out there, they split the defense again. And they do a good job of splitting the defense and giving McCaffrey run lanes. Kittle right there. Now, here's the block. Oh, this wasn't Debo. This is Williams, I think. Jennings, I mean. This is Jennings. Watch him come back. But look at the gap. Look at the huge hole. Again, an O-line coach's dream. Look at that. Because of that block, and maybe blocking back, maybe not, but McCaffrey read it, jump cut again. Now he's off to the race. Look at Debo in there getting some. Look at Ayuk getting some. Again, they receivers get in there and get some. That was Jennings. This is Debo. This is Ayuk. They receivers in there getting some. So it's going to take all 11 to be a part of the run fit. No matter where you are on the field, all 11 people are going to have to be a part of the run fit. Then you got inside zone and split zone. Same play is just split, meaning you got a guy coming across to take care of the backside end. And in this case, it's going to be use check that's going to come across the formation and take care of the end man on the line of scrimmage. To use check coming in motion to run the splits part of it. That's the inside zone blocking. That's the way because of the way Arizona's lined up. Use check gets the end man right here. See, that's the split part of it. Everything else from here over is just regular inside zone. And you see, you got hat on a hat, hat on a hat. You got a double team right here, a double team right here. And what's gonna happen right here? This last double team with Kittle and the tackle, they're gonna take that guy up to the backer, which is the perfect way to do it. Take your guy up to the backer, and nobody has to come off, and then you end up getting your 2 for 2. But then you get the down here running. Look at the shoulder square. He got options there. He got options there. Again, sees color in this hole. Gonna bounce it over here to this open gap. Yeah, that was my stomach. And he just their O line, they just do a good job of getting a hat on the hat. And again, look who's leading the way right there at the end. Look who's leading the way right here at the end. Another receiver. Another receiver. Let me show you one more. On this one, they're gonna have Jennings gonna insert. That's what said wide receiver insert. So they're running outside zone to the right, and Jennings is just going to, and I'll just show you the blocking. They're running the outside zone to their right, the screen's left. And Jennings is just going to insert and pick up the first different color he sees. And again, they're going to do a good job of splitting the defense. So you got your outside zone part on the left side of the screen. It's perfect. You got this block happening here, which is what it's supposed to be. You got him going to second level, him taking care of that. And actually, this guy's going to be free. He really don't find nobody to block until later on in the play. You see Jennings already coming back to fold for Buda Baker. And again, the defense is split. Look at that big old hole. Look at that huge hole. Trent on his turn back. Kittle out here taking care of this outside linebacker guy. The defense is split. Now look at the gap. He just got to find it. He don't even need it. He didn't even need it this play, but just it was there. He went play side with it. And find an opening. So now he's on second level. Look at, again, Ayuk. Now, a few things to stop outside zone. A few things to stop outside zone that I think should have to happen. And it's going to take a little work with drawing this up. So, with this outside zone left, obviously, this dude going to have to set the edge. Whether that be Malik Harrison, whether that be Oway, whether that be Clowney, this dude's going to have to set the edge. These guys are going to have to, he's going to have to control this gap. But right here, this person, and whether this is Queen or Roquan, they're going to be the key. All right, let me tell you why. This person has to get penetration. I didn't mean to do that. So it matter BK, Travis Jones, Brent Irvin, whoever this is playing our 0-1 technique, they're going to have to get penetration so there won't be this huge gap in the defense. And then once that happens, the linebackers got to feel. They got to feel. The edge got to be set. You got to get penetration from whoever's your interior D-line, whether that be a 0 or a 1 technique, and then the linebackers got to feel it. Got to. Because you can't, whoever sets the edge can't allow him to bounce. So you really basically got to bottle him up. You got to take away the cutback, and you got to bottle him up. That's the best way that I've known to be able to stop outside zone. Whoever's your most interior like defensive line, they got to get penetration. The edge has to be set. Then your linebackers got to feel, because it's going to be, when you do that, it's going to be a gray area right up in here between the guard and the tackle. The linebackers got to feel it. Linebackers got to feel it. And that's how you slow it down, because you can't really stop it. Because if you get, you can stop it with penetration. If you get an over-aggressive linebacker and he overruns it, that's when you get bam, bam, and you get big plays. So that's how I think you got a chance to stop it, if you can stop it. But this is just an overview of what the San Francisco 49ers like to do in the run game. I just wanted to bring a little, I rarely do previews on this channel, but this game is so big. I wanted to go look at the 49ers and what they did, and kind of have an idea of what I think we should be doing, from a defensive standpoint. And they do so much stuff off of these runs that If you tried to do a video with their passing game off of these runs, you'd be here for 4 or 5 hours. So, it's a solid offense. They got great playmakers though. They great playmakers make it go, but it's a solid offense and it's a solid scheme, and we just have to be fundamentally sound and have a few exceptional plays in there to slow them down and make them punt and force the issue. Maybe even get some turnovers in there. Keep them behind the sticks. Don't give them anything extra, and just make them work, man. Make them work for every inch. That's all. That's all I can tell the grocers to do. But this is Coach Evans. If you like the video, like the video. If you have not subscribed, please consider doing so. And hit that bell so you can be notified when the rest of these videos drop throughout the 2023 season. And I appreciate you guys for coming through. This is my my preview video for the San Francisco 49ers run game. And I'll see y'all soon. Peace and love.